Coach Case was talking about transferring from regular season just mindset to playoff intensity. Is that a concept thing? Is that about how you guys execute, or is it a mindset you can start in the locker room?
Mindset. What they say, 90% is mental in the NBA. So we just got to get our mind together and go out there and do what we got to do to get ready for the playoffs and finish out these 18 games we have left.
If what Kyle did on Thursday was what you needed at that time, what's needed to maybe going forward in the last 18 games?
Playing with energy, playing with a sense of urgency. He said, well, Kyle and we did in the second half of that San Antonio game. We basically need to pick it up and just start getting established. Like I said, we got 18 games left. It's time to step on the gas and get ourselves going.
Amir was talking about what's sort of needed from a leadership perspective at different times, or reading that situation that in that game in San Antonio early in the first half, Kyle needing to be vocal was necessary, whereas some days he said you just need a hug. How, as a leader that has been in the league as long as you have, how do you read sort of that situation and know what kind of leadership is necessary at various times?
Good question. As a team, as an organization, we know, our two leaders are Kyle and DeMar. They're basically the head of a snake. And we feed off of them. We know they're our primary scorers. We know they're going to stay in the game and play most of the minutes. So, for us as teammates, we need them to be more vocal. We need them to be the leaders, that we know we are. And we constantly tell them that, every day, players, me, myself, everybody, tell them we feed off you guys' energy, because they're our leaders. So, we definitely need that from them, and they definitely know that.
Is that the most intense you've seen Kyle?
Yeah, and I think it fueled us. We haven't seen him like that in a while. And that's what we need from him. We need him to fuel him. He has the ball in his hands in the game 90% of the time. When he gets going, like that, it gets everybody else going.
With the way you play in the second half, is that the way you think you can best lead the team, by example, with the intensity that you showed?
Absolutely. For me myself, I usually only can play one way. And I've been doing that, the 10 years I've been in here. And that's just playing with energy, and playing hard. I've never really had a play call for me. My job on the floor is just to play with a lot of energy. Get rebounds, tip in, set screens. And I have to continue doing that. Some nights I might not have it, but it's definitely a time where I need to definitely pick it up and play with the energy I know I can play with.